Hey guys, I'm backstage here in Philadelphia, but I wanted to talk to you more generally about this election. Because of the extraordinary work that you guys did, knocking on doors, making phone calls, all the enormous enthusiasm of first-time voters who came out because they believed that they could make change here in America. You gave me this incredible honor of serving as your president. And over the last 20 months, we've been able to institute so many changes that we talked about during the campaign. We finally, after decades, got health care reform done, which means that folks who are under 26 now can get health insurance under their parents' coverage, that people who have pre-existing conditions are able to finally get some help, and they can't be dropped by insurance companies just because they got sick. We're able to institute financial regulatory reform, so never again do we end up having taxpayers having to bail out banks because of reckless decisions that they made. We've been able to shift billions of dollars that were going to unwarranted subsidies to banks now to the student loan program so that millions more kids can go to school. And we're starting to close loopholes that provide tax breaks for companies that send jobs overseas, and instead we're now giving those tax breaks for companies that are investing in research and development and plants and equipment here in the United States of America, creating jobs here in the United States. So we've made a whole host of changes, but the fact is that our job is not yet done. We're still in the midst of a very difficult time in our economy. That's created a lot of anger and anxiety all across the country, and the other side is now fighting back. You've seen special interests align with the Republican Party all across the country, and they are now spending millions of dollars all across the country against Democratic candidates, running tremendously negative ads. And the worst part about it is we don't know exactly who these groups are. Because of a Supreme Court decision called Citizens United, you now have a situation in which special interests can get millions of dollars in contributions from some of the wealthiest, most powerful interests in the country. They don't have to disclose who they are. They can spend without limit in these races. And so a lot of our candidates are getting swamped. Now, given what's at stake, given the fact that the other side has said they want to go back to the exact same agenda that was in place before I took office, cutting taxes for millionaires and billionaires, even if it adds to our deficit, letting corporate special interests write their own rules. Because they want to go back to that agenda, we know that we're going to have to make sure that we do well in this election, and we're fighting for our candidates as strongly as you fought for me back in 2008, and as strongly as you fought for a Democratic Congress back in 2006. And that means I need everybody here to step up their game. It's not going to be enough for you just to go to the polls. We've got to have the same energy. We've got to have the same enthusiasm. I need you guys to make those phone calls, to knock on those doors, to volunteer for candidates, to write whatever checks you can in small donations that can contribute to these folks. So my hope is that everybody who's listening understand, we've just gone through the first quarter here, that the game is still on. And even though we can take great pride in what we've done, we've got a lot more work to do. I'm going to be counting on you. Get out there, do everything that you can, and talk to your friends and neighbors as well. All right? If you do that, then I'm positive that we can continue on the kind of change that all of us believe in.